Hey Space Muffins! It's Spacey Sims, and we are here with the first part of our new Time Lord Challenge, which is our Time Lady. So this is, yeah, it's the first part of Lady Heart. She is the Negotiator. I'm going to be doing this differently than the original Time Lord Challenge. So if you were here from the very beginning, if you saw the original Time Lord Challenge, then you kind of already know the background of the challenge and what we're supposed to do and everything. Nasty J-Man is the one who created this challenge. I will leave the link for it below in the description, like I did with the first Time Lord challenge that we did. There are some new rules and some changes, and there's even scenarios out there for different things to do to kind of keep the game a little bit fresh. I don't know right now if I'm planning to use those scenarios. I might, just to keep the ideas going and to keep the game interesting and whatnot, and we might mix that in with what I was really going to do with this challenge. So for what I'm going to do, Lady Heart she, like I said, is the Negotiator, but we are not naming her first Negotiator, second Negotiator. She will always be Lady Heart throughout the entire thing, but she will be Lady Heart the first, Lady Heart the second, Lady Heart the third, and etc. That is what is going to change. The suffix on her name is going to change each regeneration. So what you are seeing right now in front of you is Lady Heart the First, or technically the first Negotiator, but you know, she'll always just be the Negotiator. And that actually stemmed from the fact that I was rolling the dice on the Time Lord name generator just to get one for her. And I had the Negotiator and I loved that. I'm like, that's awesome. But I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. And I just didn't want her to be called like first or second. And I was like, well, I also had the Lady as one of them. And that was actually one of the original names I got a long time ago, like somewhere in the mid portion of doing the original Time Lord challenge. But then I just thought it was weird that like she would be first lady and then like second lady, and then I was like, I don't know, first lady just seems a little too presidential, and I don't know, like, so I was like, okay, well we can call her like Lady something, and then I kind of wanted to make sure that she had a different moniker than other Time Lords. I know that there's probably other people doing the Time Lord challenge who don't have their stories or their videos or anything listed in the challenge thread, but I just wanted to make sure it was different. You know, just for me and for like everybody, like it's kind of fun to like, if everybody's not using the same Time Lord name, like obviously there's only so many that you're going to use and somebody's bound to use different ones. So other ones that I had people were like, I did see other people had, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to use the same one. Like if I was using it and I didn't know, that's different, but you know, like when you know, it's one of those things where you're like, I don't want to have the exact same name. So I changed her name a couple of times. So she's Lady Heart the First, and she's the Negotiator. So technically, Lady Heart is just her name, and the Negotiator is what she is. That's her Time Lord thing, like the Doctor or the Librarian, which is what our Time Lord was originally. But anyway, so Lady Heart. Yeah, let's I'm sorry, I'm a little bit lost. Like I will tell you what we're gonna do with the challenge and everything, but it's like starting a new series over, it's like I don't remember what the hell to do. Like I've been doing the same challenges and the same series and the same everything for so long that like I don't know where to go from here. But you've obviously seen Lady in our lovely thing. I will actually like play this now and let them run around. So yeah. So you can see her name, Lady Heart the First. She's very unflirty. She's a snob and a bookworm. I don't know why she's beloved. From completing the Friend of the World aspiration. How did she complete that? I don't understand. We didn't. Maybe I gave her the Friend of the World aspiration and I changed it, but she never completed it. But anyway, she's beloved. So I don't know. And she's a quick learner because she has the Renaissance sim aspiration, and she already has level 3 logic. Oh, that's true. Yes. So obviously, that's why. She has skills, as you can see. Because if you watched the end of our original Time Lord Challenge, I didn't want you to see my TARDIS just yet, but whatever. If you saw the end of the original Time Lord Challenge, you kind of know how this is going. This is a spin-off series. This is not a complete standalone. So Lady Heart has existed for quite some time. And, of course, her companion that she's traveling with is Isis 3. Isis 3 is a robot. She's supposed to be a robot. That's why she kind of looks like this. So she's got, like... So she is a very sentient android robot. You know, I don't actually have my notes sitting right here with me to tell me all of these things. This was a terrible, terrible, terrible first impression. So we'll get to know them a little bit better. And my plan for this is that Isis will regenerate and change each time as well. She will keep all of her skills and everything, just like the lady keeps all of her skills and memories and whatnot. But Isis is going to change, and she will have different personalities and different things. And that is because, in essence, she will probably always be technically... I don't want to say like an android underneath, but, you know, she's always going to regenerate with the lady, so she will always have a different persona and a different, you know, personality. No, you know what I'm thinking? Like, different look and everything. And I've got some ideas jotted down for, like, different things, like, kind of theme ideas to go with her. So as you can see, you know, like right now, so she's just kind of an android. She's kind of got a very... her clothes are very solid color, neutral, you know. She's very simple. Look at them taking adorable pictures. You should actually legit take a picture together. Take a photo. Take a photo while hanging on the wall. And so you can see Lady Heart is very Victorian-esque, you know, in her style. I love the fact that we can change teeth because she just looks 10 times more adorable. There's just something about having the gap in her tooth that just gives her so much more personality. I just love it so much. So this is our first picture of them together. That is freaking adorable. So let's actually put this on the wall. Oh, it's in Isis's inventory, yes. And now Isis is not going to change, I don't think. I'm not going to change her personality and be like, oh, she's not going to be like Isis 4, Isis 5, or anything like that. Her name is just going to probably change repeatedly. But let's actually look. You can see as our TARDIS is very small to start with and is very formal. I know technically we could have used the vampire wallpaper, but I built this before vampires came out. So, so Lady Heart's bedroom. Actually, I think I already had her claim her bed. No, claim. And you will... This is hers. So that's Lady Heart's bedroom. They have tablets. Lady Heart's bedroom. This is Isis's bedroom. It matches her. I don't think I did that on purpose, but and then their formal... Oh, there needs to be wallpaper on this wall. So let me just do this. Quality. There we go. So the living room. So they don't have any like electronics or anything like that. They just have a bookshelf to keep themselves occupied. And then their little bath. And then upstairs, this, I love this, by the way. I didn't want to, I was going to do it just like I did our normal TARDIS and whatnot. But I didn't. All right, we'll just go back to live mode. She came out here to, oh, hey, hi. I guess we'll greet these lovely Sims. Invite our neighbors in. Invite neighbors in. Lovely. Okay, so I was going to originally do it, I did, like, you know, just the same little TARDIS. But I didn't want it to look like a TARDIS, so I made it this really cute, old, Victorian thing. And there's obviously nothing on any of the floors. Like, these are just empty. And yes, they have wallpaper and flooring to, like, look. But I just really wanted it to look, like that. And we'll be adding to it. Because my intent, originally, when I started, when I came up with this idea, was that the TARDIS is not going to stay in the same spot. This is not going to be the lot that it stays on the entire time. My intent was it's going to start off on this lot because this is one of the smallest lots. I don't think it's actually the smallest because I'm not smart like that. But, like, I don't know. It's one of the smallest lots. And it was originally going to, in each regeneration, move it to a slightly bigger lot and a bigger lot, and then just start and adding more. So, like, during this one, we can add some stuff to it, and then when you bring it to the bigger lot, then you can add a little bit more, and so on and so forth, and it'll eventually grow, and we'll have more and more room. Instead of staying in, why, my God, we have, like, every neighbor in the damn place. Like, we don't have enough room for these friggin' people. Wait, where are they all? Are they all just standing up here? Oh, they're all literally just standing up here. But, they were literally just standing here. Okay, hi. She's making lots of friends. So that was my intent, is to move it around in the neighborhoods. What I have decided to do, and we won't be doing it all the time, but a couple of times in each, in each season, and maybe more often, I don't know. But my intent now is, in order to give this a little more authenticity to being a Time Lord and how she's traveling around and doing all those things, I am going to be moving the TARDIS and the wow, what is she doing? And the lady, and Isis, obviously, they will be moving around to different games. So she is starting here, and we are meeting our neighbors and making friends with them. But they won't remember that, and the only thing is she's going to lose those relationships when we move. But she's probably going to meet Joaquin and Sergio and Clara and Jacques down there, whatever. She's going to meet them all again in other game saves. So my intent is to take the lady and move her around to different game saves. So we will be going and revisiting some of the games that I've done that have wrapped up, that we no longer see. So she might show up in Alice and Windenburg and meet Alice and all of those Sims. She might show up in our X-Files game, in our original Get to Work series. So we will be going through and revisiting some of the old Sims that I have in all of those files. I was kind of thinking of that. My other option was to take all of those Sims and their houses, the way they were last saved in the game, save them to my gallery, and then put them in this world. But I wanted to keep it, it's not, to me, I feel like I haven't quite hashed that out, and that's why I was kind of leery of starting this one this week, just because I'm not 100% sure exactly if we're going to set up the neighborhood so that all of the Sims from all of my prior games, are loaded in here. So, okay, if they're hopefully they're all in different lots or whatever, move them all in, but then they're all interacting with each other, and then that doesn't keep the timelines consistent. Whereas if we have her going into other games, that can keep the timelines consistent. It's going to mean that I have 7,000 game files. Probably not. I'm obviously going to save over each one. So, this one, if she moved into, pick another game, whatever. Say she moved into, we had her go visit the My Little Pony Sims, right? Obviously, I'm going to save her, save the family, and save the house into the gallery. I'm going to put it down in the exact same lot wherever it is now, or wherever it is during that time when we're playing. So it would be on this lot in the My Little Pony game file. I think there's probably already a house there, but whatever, demolish it and save that over this. So, we're not going to be messing up My Little Pony. That would be its own game save. I would just be saving it again, as a new game, and you know what I mean? So, alternate timelines, I guess you could say. And I kind of like that idea, because she will get to meet all of the Sims and all of the things, and we'll get to revisit some of the old games that I've had and I had going for so long. My only sad thing is I really, really wish that I had a game save for each one of my original Time Lords, because I would love to have her go in, and I'm going to figure out a way to finagle this at some point, because we are coming up in March, actually. In March will be 2 years. Will be my 2-year anniversary on YouTube, and I would absolutely love for her, since the 2-year anniversary of when I started this channel will fall on a Saturday, will be Time Lady episode, and that would be the absolute perfect time to have her visit First Librarian. So really thinking that that's probably something I'm going to try to figure out how to do, because First Librarian, you know, I do have him in my library. I don't have his TARDIS, unfortunately, but you know what? I might just work on trying to, like, rebuild it to a certain extent, and, like, just to throw just, you know, I mean, and hey, actually, she could go visit First Librarian before he ever landed. You know, I mean, when he was just starting out, we already know that he's got a bit of a backstory that we're finding out as we go in other games, you know, but yeah, so Lady will be traveling through other game files, which means, of course, all of the Sims and everything she's meeting in these, she's going to lose those relationships. But I'm okay with that, just because I like the idea of moving her around, and I don't want to have, like, 15 versions of my Sims, like, have them all in here and interacting with each other, because that wouldn't be true to their timelines. Like, if she goes to My Little Pony, it's not true to the My Little Pony timeline for those My Little Pony Sims to be here mixing up with all these other people, and there's no other My Little Ponies around. But for her to go visit them, you know, would work. So that is my intent. Obviously, this first part, we are not worried about that. And I will probably, I'm not sure if I want to. She's actually, okay, so actually, and I cheated. She is a young adult. She is not an adult, which is one of the rules. But, you know, again, we're not following any rules here. Oh, we don't have a trash can. You know what we need? We need the magic one that generates us money, but it's not going to look good in our house. I forgot about, oh, you know what? Screw it. Whatever. We can throw this in the sink. So she's making food. Why is she sad? Oh, because she's gloomy. Oh, that's true. So let's see her traits. Isis 3 is gloomy. She's neat. And she's a genius. And she has the nerd braid aspiration. I don't really necessarily give a crap what her aspiration is. Not going to lie. I'm not worried in this about completing aspirations or doing anything like that. Like, we will probably in downtimes have Lady try to complete her aspirations. But that's just a little bit to give her more personality. I think we might try to do that, but with us going around and doing other things and meeting other Sims and going, we might have a lot of adventures, and it's a lot of things to keep us occupied, and where building the skills may not be necessary. I thought they left. Why are they still here? Weird. Anyway, can you eat this? Eat your scrambled eggs and bacon. Everybody is just all up in your house doing stuff. It's so weird. They didn't go home. Did Joaquin go home? I guess he did. I don't know. But yeah, so this is kind of just our intro episode. You know. So just kind of getting to know our Sims and getting to know the challenge before we actually start doing anything. And, like, I don't have any set plans with the story, but I mean, I have some kind of ideas that are working that we know we're going to have to adapt over time, because we do know that this is a spin-off series. This does tie into our librarian and everything. So, you know, 13th librarian might make an appearance here and there. It is my intent that he will be showing up at some point. I was originally going to put him in the world, but now that I know she's going to be bouncing around, I don't know, maybe he'll be bouncing around with them. Maybe we'll see him in some of these other games and wonder, like, what the hell he's doing, you know? Again, I haven't quite figured out the plan, so I don't know where she's going to go first. There's no set, like, she has to go here. I know that the way I usually do this, like, I've got the idea. I know what we're going to kind of do. I kind of already know that she's out there, like, her entire purpose is, and for going around, is trying to figure out where she's come from. Because, you know, she's got all of these skills, and she's got this, you know, other trait in here. She's, well, we're on ISIS, whatever. She's got the, she's gonna go pee in a bush. You have got to be freaking shitting me. Is that because there's people in her bathroom? Like, she's like, I'm just gonna go pee in this goddamn bush, whatever. Whatever floats your boat, lady. Um, she's got this beloved trait, and she's like, why? Like, I don't get it. Like, you know, she's got things about herself, and she's got these things in her head that don't feel like her necessarily, and she's trying to figure that out, and we'll figure it out with her. You know, and then of course, you know, 13th floating around. We might see him. She's going to go be visiting all these other Sims and all these other places to try to figure out where the hell she came from, because this doesn't feel right necessarily, and she doesn't know what feels right. But she knows that, hey, she's here. This is great, and maybe she and Isis will figure it out, but there's a bond between the two of them. You know, they're both young adults. There's a bond that the two of them have, but, you know, why? Where did this come from? Like, she doesn't really remember much before now, and neither does Isis, despite the fact that she's an android, you know? She doesn't remember anything else aside from the day that they landed there. And it's like, okay, we've got this bond, we've got this relationship, but how do we know each other? Like, where did it come from? And it's weird. It's like they've always been together, but they don't remember it, you know? So that's going to be her whole entire quest, going around trying to figure this out and piece together, like, what the hell happened? So yeah. So for now, this is it. So I know we didn't do too much. We kind of saw the TARDIS. We saw Lady. We've seen Isis. We're getting to know them and everything. And things will start to develop, and Lady will try to figure out her place, especially as she regenerates. Now, I haven't decided. I'm still thinking that to keep it in the same vein as our original challenge with the librarian, we were doing 12 parts. Because I think they're on normal lifespan. Yeah. It worked out that first librarian ended up being 12 parts, and the Time Lords have 12 regenerations and whatnot. So I might just keep that, and we might just have 12 episodes of this and then kind of rotate out. So I know this one, the seasons will be a lot shorter than some of the other games that we're playing. But if I have to, as we're going through the first season, if we have to adjust and maybe make the episodes a little bit longer to kind of, that's not going to work, but you know what, to get the most out of it, like, I don't know. But I'm still thinking of leaving it 12 parts just because she looks relieved. She's just adorable. But, like, if I have to do that, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we're gonna do the 12 parts because I just like keeping the consistency. You know. Oh, I wanted to get her a cute picture of her. Like, hope you better not. She's feeling flirty. She's doing a flirty painting. I probably should have reset their skills and stuff like that, but yeah, so. Painting and figuring out all of these things. But yeah, so. Yeah. I don't really have much to say. This is like the worst introduction ever. But yeah. We'll leave this part here. I know it's about average for our stuff, but yeah, and we'll figure out where we're going, what we're doing, and everything with Lady as we come back. I'm kind of considering that wherever she goes, whatever game she goes into, it's not just going to be one episode. We'll have her there for a couple, interacting with these Sims and everything. Because, if she's traveling around and trying to get a sense of who she is and where she came from and figuring things out, she's not just going to land someplace and stay there for like a day, So it's going to be her entire journey. So, I don't know if she might backtrack and go back to other worlds after she's already visited them. Like whatever world she goes to first, maybe she'll go back to that later on, or maybe she won't, because I want to try to get through and get her into as many different games as I can, just because, with me, all of my games always tie into, like, they always tie into each other. We have all of that. Like, the Time Lord's got his dirty little fingers. Yeah. The Librarian has his dirty little fingers in everything, messing up people's lives. My Sims are always being transferred to different game and linking with other ones. And I just love, and I think that's what helped me come up with this, but I just love the idea that the Time Lady will just be bouncing around to all these game saves as well. Because, this is the Spacey Sims cinematic universe, I guess. The Spacey Sims simming universe is all the games are interconnected. So, but yeah, I will wrap this part up here. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this challenge, and I hope you enjoyed meeting the lady and Isis, and I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.